Welcome to the show. Let's look at the latest cases of COVID-19 as we progress. We are trying hard to get through this the best we can. And by doing that, by giving you the best information we can give. So let's start with yesterday's statistics. Person-to-person contact, no new cases. Traveling, no new cases, a total of 60. Community transition, no new cases so far. 262 new cases under investigation. Total 262. We're over 2,000. That's the total. 33,018 cases. The total of people that are tested, 21,000. Over 20,000. 367 recovered. Positive cases, 1731. Testing, last 7 days, 544. 778 daily tests. So again, as always, if you're going to go out in public, you need to wear masks, period. Unless you have a medical condition. If you have a medical condition, no masks. If your child is under 10, no masks. So, we're just trying to make sure that none of this happens. So what we're trying to do here is we need to make sure that none of this happens as we progress this month. We have to slow the spread. By doing that, you wear these. How hard is it to wear a mask? Harris County, 34,108, 20. So just make sure you wear a mask. Let's not have this happen all over again. We don't want to shut down Texas. And probably most of that businesses are probably closing because of all this. Like yesterday, I talked to you about Whataburger closing because of the Whataburger opening up. They're open up 9 until 11 p.m. That's fine. That's by their standards. This is what Whataburger wants to do. It's something Whataburger wants to do. They ain't never arguing about that. Now the beaches. Again, this is something that Judge Barbara Canales wants to do. Have a curfew on all beaches. Prohibit all vehicles. There ain't no point in arguing, but this is something that Judge Barbara Canales wants, and if Judge Barbara Canales wants to do this, then it's her choice. And if the governor wants to mandate masks in public, then that's something the governor wants to do. There ain't no arguing back and forth about this. There's not going to be no arguing back and forth. So if you have plans to go to the beach this weekend for 4th of July, make some other plans. Like, what can you do? Probably nothing, because most of the events are closed because of COVID-19. So what can you do? Always stay at home. If you're going to go out in public, you wear a mask. If you're going to go barbecue, have friends over for a barbecue, you need to make sure that it's more than 10 people and they stay 6 feet away. And they have to wear a mask, period. Alright, let's move on now. So as you get ready to put on that swimsuit this weekend, for those who are going to the beach, we thought it might be a good idea to take a look inside those lifeguards. Punch about the pool and the public parks are public swimming pools, so we appreciate that. But what is some of them really doing, really smoking? These answers I might tell you might have you boggles. So let me tell you right now. If you're going to be a lifeguard at a public pool, here's some of the do's and don'ts that you need to do. Do not use your phone, do not use your phone, do not text, to name a few. Don't text. Don't be texting or something like that while you're doing your lifeguard duty. So if you're going to be a lifeguard at a public pool or whatever, you need to do some research. No lifeguards providing any electronics, no listening to music, no texting, none of that. Do not sleep. No hibernation, period. No hibernation. Do not use the pool for workouts. Do not swallow water. Don't pretend to drown. Don't get in the way when a lifeguard is helping someone. And especially, don't be like these lifeguards that happened years ago, back in 2012. These lifeguards got fired for their Gangnam Style. And after that video went viral, all of them got fired. This was from 7 years ago. Watch. That video got viewed a lot of times, 2.4 million views. After that aired, the people that did this were fired.
Now to a surprising backlash from Korean rapper Psy's mega hit Gangnam Style. 14 California lifeguards are fighting for their jobs after they were fired for posting their own video of the dance on YouTube. They say they were just having some fun, but local officials say it was an improper use of city property. ABC's Nick Watt has the story.
The beat is irresistible.
Oppa Gangnam Style.
The giddy-up dance moves, infectious. The nation is shaking its collective caboose. Gangnam Style. At the Naval Academy. Saturday Night Live. Even here on GMA.
Oppa Gangnam Style.
But when the lifeguards of Al Monte, California posted their Gangnam parody on YouTube, all 13 of them, plus the supervisor, were fired.
That's 14.
For fun, and to commemorate our summer, we never thought it would have blown up to something like this.
There was a clear, unauthorized use of city resources, reads a statement issued by city officials, including city a Facebook page and an online petition backed by thousands pleading for reinstatement. And now Psy, the South Korean who busts those moves, he's knee-deep in the brouhaha. Speaking out on MTV News.
Oppan Gangnam Style.
I'm begging you to do not fire, please.
Last night, El Monte City Council listened to earnest pleas from the lifeguards.
All of the employees that were fired are definitely quality employees.
It's just a case of the punishment not fitting the crime.
In solidarity, I've been dancing Gangnam Style all morning in my office. That's company property and company time. Hopefully, I won't get fined. Good Morning America, Nick Wall, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Oppan Gangnam Style.
So now after that, they all got their jobs back, probably because of that. The city's probably saying, oh, they were just doing it for fun. Let's just rehire them. I mean, they know what they did was wrong. Next time, don't be doing it at your workplace. Even on your work property. And then posting it to YouTube. Corporate can come in, watch that video, and then you're done. You're fired. Even if you work at a fast food restaurant, you go Gangnam Style over the fast food with customers, you're done. You're fired. You're kicked in the can. Don't ever do this again. More action when we come back. We're just days away, like a few days away from, probably some days away from kids going back to school, but I thought I would go back to the dress code violation that we saw in the news, talked about on this broadcast. Now, I mean, again, no holes in your clothing, especially jeans and shirts. Sometimes, if you're truly cool, you can look cool in pants that do not have holes in them. The important thing for you to know is you're here to learn, not to look cool. That's what happened in Canada, as this lady people were protesting about this dress code. Take a look.
Ripped jeans and a tank top got her sent home from school. Well, today hundreds came out to support a London, Ontario student who was told to cover up. It's the second high school protest over dress code in as many days. As Ron Charles explains, it's also a movement spreading across North America.
Laura Anderson was devastated when a vice principal sent her home from school for wearing this outfit.
I felt extremely disrespected and degraded.
Anderson says her ripped jeans and tank top were not inappropriate.
I was not dressing for sexual attention. I don't want that sexual attention. I was dressing for the weather. I was dressing to feel comfortable.
And so she organized a protest, encouraging classmates to don similar attire. And today many did.
How is a shoulder strapping or like a knee in the roof of a pant? Like, I don't get it. We're all here to learn.
By protesting, Anderson and her classmates have become part of a continent-wide movement of high school students rejecting the idea behind many dress codes. That girls dressing a certain way are too much of a distraction for boys. Protesters in the U.S. created the hashtag I'm More Than a Distraction. The group Fredericton Youth Feminists put together this YouTube video.
I had a teacher who called herself the dress code Nazi and told students they dress like sluts. If a boy is too distracted by my bra strap to do his schoolwork, that's his problem.
Students at a Toronto high school showed up in crop tops and spaghetti straps yesterday after a classmate was told to cover hers up. That student, Alexi Hackett, organized the crop top day.
Someone else's opinion of your body should in no way be more important than your opinion and how you want to present yourself and how you want to feel.
Schools trying to enforce dress codes may now have to maneuver around a protest movement that seems to be growing. Ron Charles, CBC News, Toronto.
Again, it doesn't matter. If it's a distraction, it's a distraction. Don't be posting hashtags like I'm not a distraction. Dress code's put there for a reason. There's no point in you just saying, well, I'm not a distraction. And there's no point in changing the dress code. All schools put dress code in place to prevent distraction and to teach all students that when you leave school, You're going to have to look your best when you go apply for jobs and for colleges. And every rules of the school district is that the principal has to enforce the dress code. Even 5 months ago, this person was told to cut the braids off for graduation. They said no.
We have new
Now it's
details
controversial.
tonight in the
Listen.
hairstyle controversy in Barbers Hill ISD. We introduced you to a high school senior earlier this week who was told that he can't walk the stage for graduation or even return to normal classes unless he cuts his dreadlocks. Now, his cousin is being told the very same thing. Channel 2 anchor Keith Garvin live in Mont Bellevue tonight, where the district superintendent also spoke out. Keith?
That's right, Dominique. That young man and his cousin have gotten the same news along with a number of other all-male students. They say they have been told that they cannot return to campus under normal conditions until they cut their hair to standard. They say the problem is the standard has changed. Mont Bellevue, a small town in Chambers and Liberty counties, making a lot of noise over hair. Specifically, how long the hair of male students at Barbers Hill High School should be. Thursday night, a show of support at a park near the school, and more students and parents saying the school is going too far, not just with the young man who already has made national news, but with them as well.
I cut it a little shorter, just got a little bit off, and then I came back the next day and they told me that it was still too long.
Jonathan Randall is a senior who says he's been wearing his hair long since 7th grade. He says he's had to spend nearly $40 in just the past 2 days on haircuts to meet the dress code. Randall and other students believe the policy is biased against boys.
Girls can cut their hair as short as a guy can and have it as long as they want to. So I think that should be the same for guys. I think we should be able to grow our hair out as long as we want to and have it short as short as we want to.
Many of these students also say the district did not start cracking down on the dress code until after the Christmas break for one main reason.
Once we first got on the news with DeAndre, it just started becoming a problem.
DeAndre Arnold is another Barbers Hill senior who has been told his hair is not in compliance with the district's dress code. Arnold's family says his dreadlocks are part of their Trinidadian culture, and he's been out of school since butting heads with the district over the dress code.
He is absolutely permitted to come back to school. Now, full clarification, if he's in violation, what we would do with him, and we do with any student, is he could possibly go into in-school suspension.
The other students that we spoke to tonight as well also say that they have been given the option of in-school suspension if they do not cut their hair to code by Monday. Reporting live from Mont Bellevue, Keith Garvin, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
I mean, if you don't want to cut your hair, then go with the in-school suspension. There's no reason for you to be like, to go protest. I mean, First Amendment, just because the First Amendment says you have the right to free speech, like you have the right to protest the school property. Just understand that. Follow the dress code, and you'll be a successful student. There's more to come. Stay tuned. Imagine this one. You're sitting in school and they're checking, and then all the school districts are checking out the dress code, and you're saying they're publicly shaming you. That's what happened 4 months ago in Lexington Middle School, where they started a petition. And all parents and students were upset about the new dress code policy. Take a look.
In middle school, parents and students are demanding change because they say the dress code policy was unfairly enforced.
Parents say girls all over the school had to stand up in class while the teacher examined their outfits. They started a petition calling on the school to re-examine procedures. LEXAT's Kylan Mills has the story.
It was kind of shaming them for clothing that people wear all the time.
Tonight, Horton Middle School parents and students are upset after they say girls were humiliated in school because of their clothes.
But it was based off like athletic wear that she wears. She is an athlete, so this is what she feels comfortable in.
Liz Sheehan says her 6th grade daughter was singled out on Monday for wearing this outfit because shirts worn over leggings are supposed to reach your fingertips.
In her class, they had to stand up in the class and they had to show whether their shirt was fingertip length or not. So it drew attention to them in the middle of their class. She said she felt embarrassed that some of the other students were laughing at the process.
Sheehan says her daughter and dozens of others, like the one in this photo, were removed from class and sent to SAFE, which is an area for students with behavioral problems.
This was more disruptive to the students' day than what they were wearing.
When you have excellent students being sent out of class, missing school, to have that kind of thing happen, it's the middle
Preston's daughters were given large shirts to change into. We're told the rule about shirts and leggings has been a part of the school dress code all year, but just started being enforced this week.
From what I talked with my daughter about, it didn't seem that there were other rules that were being enforced to this level.
Parents and students believe the policy is sexist and needs to change. An online petition now has more than 700 signatures.
Young women can feel, in this case, that they are being objectified, judged, stigmatized for being a girl.
Today, some students wore shirts like this in protest, calling on the school to take action to stop the stigma. Kyla Mills, LEX 18 News.
And what does the school have to say? We don't know. We don't know what the school said, but if it becomes an issue again, we will report. We will report about this. Now, just a few days ago, we started looking into teachers who were fired. Now, take a look at this one. That was just the last week. 1 week ago, this middle school teacher was arrested. What for?
A county teacher is arrested for allegedly having sexual relations with a 15-year-old boy. 8 on your sides, Rod Carter joins us now live from Bartow with that. And Rod, these are pretty disturbing allegations.
Yeah, good evening. So that teacher, her name is Lisa Bushart. She has been with the Polk County School District since 2004. Tonight, she is on administrative leave, and the district says she is likely going to be fired. They're moving ahead with that. All of it because the sheriff says she had oral sex with a 15-year-old boy at a party.
This is Leslie Bushart's 16th year teaching in Polk County and possibly her last.
So she's locked up in the county jail.
Polk County Sheriff Brady Judd tells me while at a graduation party for a high school girl in early June, the Lake Gibson middle school teacher got drunk.
Well, she went to the party, she became intoxicated.
That's why alcohol was permitted at all school events.
15-year-old boy in order to smoke marijuana.
And that's when things went terribly wrong.
Well, she said I was so intoxicated that I couldn't light it. So instead, I had oral sex with a 15-year-old boy. Are you kidding me?
Then Judd says.
So then she went back to the party and she started telling people that she did this. And of course, the people at the party reported it to the 15-year-old's mother.
The sheriff says Bushart later admitted to doing it.
We arrested her yesterday and she confessed to us and she said, in other words, yeah, I kind of do that when I get drunk.
The Bushart is charged with lewd battery tonight, and the sheriff would not say exactly how she got invited to that party or how she knew any of these folks, and that is, of course, to protect the victim in this case. Jennifer.
All right, Rod Carter live in Polk County. Thank you.
This was last week. And now look at this. This is a case of a teacher-student sexual relationship. Could she be fired? We don't know what's going to happen, but if this story breaks, we will update you. I will update you as days go on. And that topic leads us to Monday's Give Me a Break. We'll give you a preview of that when we return. One more item before we leave. If you're planning on setting off fireworks in your state, just remember that they're illegal and you can face possibly jail time and possibly more fines. Make sure you don't use fireworks or go buy fireworks because it is illegal. Now coming up at Give Me a Break Monday, that story that we did earlier about a teacher getting arrested for having a sexual relationship with a 15-year-old, Monday on our show, we're going to look at cases like this of teachers who were caught having sexual relations with students. Wait till you hear their sides of the story from different articles from different people. The teacher side and the student side. And hear what all schools have to say from those articles from years ago. That's on Monday. That's all for this edition of Give Me a Break Friday. We'll see you again at Give Me a Break Monday at our same time. For all of us here at YouTube, have a great night. And have a great night and a safe 4th of July weekend. Good night.